Today, do you know what we're having today, Jolie?
No.
We're having black-eyed peas and ham.
Okay.
All right. So first thing you're going to need is a slow cooker.
This is a slow cooker, guys.
All right. Let's turn it on to high. You're going to want to cook this for about 6 hours on high. And we have a bunch of leftover ham from Thanksgiving that we're going to be using today. Or you could use a ham hock bone.
Yes.
So we have about 1.5 cups of meat here. You want it not too small of pieces when you put this in. And pour it in, babe. We have 1 pound of rinsed black-eyed peas. The dry kind. You don't want to get... Just rinse these off with some cold water. Put them back into your slow cooker. Okay. Then you're going to need 1 cup of diced onion, which is about 1 large onion. And then you're going to need 1 cup of celery, which we also had leftovers from Thanksgiving.
Which I love celery.
Yep. And then we need 1 tablespoon of bacon grease. And if you're using a ham hock bone, you might not need the extra grease if you have a lot of fat on it. Here, let Grandma shake. Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
1 tablespoon of bacon grease. This is 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. And 1 teaspoon of pepper.
That's what I said, pepper.
And then we're going to need 6 cups of water.
I'm going to let you do this one. Because it's going to be...
Yeah, dump it in there.
I can't. It's glass.
Just dump it in there. You're almost 8 years old. You can pour something glass.
Wait, I'm going to know if it's fluffy.
There you go. 6 cups of water. Perfect. Now you give that a slow spur.
A slowly stir?
Yep. You got this down, don't you?
Yes. Which we're going to
Just enough to mix that bouillon into the water and spread everything out a little bit.
Now she's happy.
Okay, and then this is the super hard part. You put the lid on.
I'm super shy.
And you walk away. And you come back in 6 hours. Actually, we're going to come back in 5 hours. 5 hours, so we can make some cornbread to go with that. We're going to be making some sweet cornbread to go with our black-eyed peas and ham. And we're also going to be making some honey butter. Some sweetened honey butter to go with our sweet cornbread. Okay, so first we're making a double batch. So you're going to want to melt 1 cup, that's 2 sticks of butter in a glass dish here, which I would suggest covering it because I use the microwave to melt it. You could also use your skillet. We're going to be baking it in this extra large cast iron skillet. You could bake this into 2 smaller skillets. You could melt your butter in this and then pour it into your pan. Then you'd already have your pan greased for your cornbread. But I chose to do it the hard way. We put it in the microwave. Okay, so to your 1 cup of melted butter here, you're going to be adding 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking soda. And now we're going to need the eggs. We're going to need 4 eggs. It really doesn't matter which order you put your ingredients into. I just like to do the eggs first. Then if you get an eggshell in there, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. There we go. No shells. Look at that. Okay, so you got 4 eggs. And we're going to need 1 cup of Masa harina corn flour. Super refined corn flour. It's just white corn and salt. Or no, it's just white corn and a tiny touch of lime. That's for the preservatives. It's exactly the same ingredients, except instead of a little bit of salt like regular cornmeal, it has a tiny bit of lime. Both are preservatives. Then we're going to add 2 cups of regular white flour. Okay. Then we're going to check what this child is doing in the freezer. Mix this together just slightly, enough to beat those eggs up a little bit. And then we're going to add, there we go. Now let's get the milk and the sugar in there. All right, and now we're going to add in 2 cups of milk and 2 cups of sugar. Okay, and then we're going to combine this really well. You don't want to use an electric beater for this, or it might beat the eggs too much. Just want to mix by hand. Oh, mix well. Then we're gonna we have our oven preheating to 350 degrees. We're gonna bake this for about 30 to 40 minutes. Since my cast iron is already getting a little bit warmed up sitting on the stovetop there, it might be just a little less. So we're gonna check it at 30 minutes. While that's baking, we'll mix up that honey butter. And this will be lumpy, so don't worry about trying to get all the lumps out. It's not going to happen. But you want to get most of the lumps out, but not all the lumps out. Maybe. I think we're going to need a whisk. There we go. All that cold milk is making that butter harden up already. Let's pour that into our skillet, which is also already oiled. All right, we're going to put this in the oven for 30 minutes. Okay, see you in 30 minutes. All right, after 30 minutes, this is how our cornbread looks. So light and fluffy. Look at that, it smells so good. Okay, and our beans cooked for 5 hours. Now that our beans are completely done, just make sure that they're good and tender. Go ahead and taste one if you want to. Smells really good. We're going to add 2 cups of cold water. Then we're going to stir this up. And it'll be ready to serve in just a few minutes because it's going to have to cool down for a minute. Look at them big old pieces of ham. Let's get some honey butter for the cornbread ready. Okay, we've got 2 sticks of room temperature butter here and a mixer. We're going to mix this butter up real quick by itself first. And then we're going to slowly add some honey. Just a couple of spoonfuls at a time. Okay, let's taste it and see if it's sweet enough. Oh no, it needs more. Okay, now we're going to add in a little bit of vanilla and some powdered sugar. First, a dash of vanilla. Ooh, not too awfully much. Mix that in. And just mix it. Mix at each interval. Now we're going to add about a quarter of a cup of powdered sugar. Okay. Now, let's see how that turned out. Oh, it's so good. All right, now we're going to put that into a pretty little serving bowl so we can have some with dinner. Serve that up with some honey butter. Look at that. Super moist cornbread. Yes, and you want to add some salt and pepper to your beans right before serving. Okay, see you guys next time.